major resistance needs to be retested as support if a move is true. So, in the context of Blur on the daily time frame, although this move up is really, really, it is, what's the word I'm looking for? It really gives confidence. It's really encouraging. That's the word I'm looking for. It's really encouraging. Although this is really encouraging, I want to be careful as a trader, as an investor, as a speculator. As an investor, not so much. As an investor, I'm buying the bottom. I don't care if we come back down and retest this trend line, this 190-day trend line as support. I don't give a damn, right? Anywhere here as an investor, I'm fine. If I'm trading on leverage, I'm trying to, kind of trade with a high degree of margin or leverage, I want to be very careful because this is 190 days of resistance that we just broke. You do not want to buy the first break up. You want to buy the retest, meaning this goes up and eventually this comes back down to a certain extent, right? And that's when I'm really interested in the real breakout, okay? So that is Blur, and that's an example of our breaking months-long trends, downward trends in crypto. Hello everyone, my name is Steve. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is October 18th, 2023. And the breakout we've been waiting for is finally here. Okay, we can see it in the Bitcoin charts, we can see it in the altcoin charts, we can also see it in the US dollar currency index chart. If that sounds interesting to you, then watch until the very end. Let's not waste any time, okay? Right now, if you look at our daily time frame chart of Bitcoin against US dollar, we are still hovering at this very important level here, okay? We had a break up, right? I wouldn't call this a breakout. I would call it a break up. Okay, we had a break up on the 16th, on Monday, okay? And we've now been hovering around this area right here, right around 28K. If you watched my last analysis, you will know that 28,000 was very important for us to hold as support, okay? 28,000 represents the phi ratio or the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level of Monday's breakup, okay? So if we hold the phi ratio, this means one of two things. One, we are in pure impulse, in which case any Elliott wave impulse is going to retrace at to a maximum of the phi ratio. It can't retrace beyond that, okay? And secondly, it shows strength. It shows strength in the progression of any move, whether purely impulsive or corrective, right? Because you can have what we call a zigzag, which is an impulse that's corrective, right? But still, that zigzag maintains that phi ratio level of retracement, which means the move is showing strength, okay? The retracement came back down, but it came back down to above the phi ratio. That phi ratio also represents this previous resistance. You see this? This is a cup and handle. I'm going to draw it again right here. You see that? That's a quintessential pattern in trading, what we call a cup and handle. Let's actually draw it again like this. Most people would recognize it like that. Do you see? The cup and handle would have a neckline of our phi ratio, which is 28K, okay? So if you're looking at what happened on Monday as a breakup, okay, basically what happened on Tuesday and Wednesday, which we are today, right? Wednesday, is a retracement or a retest of the breakout, a retest of the neckline, which yields the actual breakout, okay? Because you understand, any real move, any real breakout is preceded by a breakup and a retest, then the breakout comes. So that's what we're looking at. This is why this breakout is imminent. I understand that I said on Monday's episode that it was likely, or was it Sunday? I don't remember. But the last time I did analysis, I said that at the start of business on the following day, we were likely to get a breakout. That was off, okay? Yet and still, we held that 28K level because I did say in my analysis that as long as we hold 28K, it's looking good for continuation. This move will likely continue, okay? It's all probabilistic when we do technical analysis. There's no 100%, but given that we've held 28K and it looks really good on the smaller time frames, we also look really good because what happened? Look at this on the 4-hourly time frame. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. I understand we've been in the doldrums of price action. We've been down and sideways. Nobody wants to pay attention, but this is when you want to pay attention. This is really when the fun stuff starts. Okay, you had the move and you came back down. Look at what happened. I'm going to make this a little bigger so everybody can see. Look what happened to our momentum indicator, our stochastic RSI momentum indicator, right? Ever since Monday, we reached the top right here. We hit 30K and we came back down. Look at what the momentum indicator did. It completely reset, okay? That's a really good indication for continuation to the upside, given that ever since we came down back to this 28K, right above 28K level, we've been going sideways and consolidating, which is likely going to be an accumulation for continuation. Okay, so that's what it looks like on the smaller time frames. Again, I would not fade this move. I would not think that it's likely that we get a breakdown given everything I've said until now, right? The cup and handle, the 28K phi ratio, all that stuff. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Looks really good. Now, we can corroborate this read with what I also said last analysis with the US dollar currency index. One of the main points I said was, I'm looking for a fill of this gap. What do we know about gaps in price action when you're looking at these financial markets or these traditional financial markets, especially the US dollar currency index? You always fill them. The US dollar currency index always fills its gaps. It usually fills them on a small time frame, right? Almost immediately, right? And this gap happened on the 15th, so on Sunday, right? And I said on Sunday, that's when I did the analysis, on Sunday. We're likely to fill the gap before we continue, okay? We didn't fill it on Monday, Tuesday, and finally today we just filled it, okay? So gaps are typically meant to be filled. This one was to the upside, so I was looking for an upside move. I did say that. We saw that in a momentum indicator, right? Right, we saw our momentum indicator on Sunday bottomed out, so it was likely that we were going to go up and fill the gap. We just filled it right there. That means we are ready to continue this move to the downside in the US dollar currency index. What we know on this channel, and every other channel should also know this, that the DXY is inversely correlated to Bitcoin and risk on assets. So if the US dollar is going down in value, then risk on assets like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going up. Look at what's happening right now. The US dollar currency index is going down. And if it's going down in the way we think it's going down, impulsively, there's your run in Bitcoin and crypto. Okay, that's your run up to the next likely target. Back to Bitcoin. What is the next likely target? Okay, so let's go back on the daily time frame to talk about this. Okay, and I haven't forgotten, I am going to reference an altcoin or two. So Bitcoin's next significant resistance is that $32,400 level, okay? That $32,400 level both represents the phi ratio, the phi ratio of this particular drop, and it represents the top rate, the top level, the top resistance of this range that we've been in since early April. Okay, we've been in a range 1, 2, 3, right? Corrective patterns, and then you get a chop up. Okay, you're likely to get some resistance at the top of this range at 32,400. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to stop at 32,400. All that means is that at 32,400, we have to appreciate the fact that that has served as resistance for now 190 days. Okay, so by hook or by crook, with a high degree of probability, what's going to happen is once we hit 32,400, we do experience some resistance, but more specifically and more importantly, 32,400 must be retested. You do not experience 190 days of resistance of a level and have the confluence of that level being a phi ratio retracement level of a previous drop without that level being significant. 32,400 is going to be retested as support, okay? When you breach significant resistance, it has to be retested as support. So wherever whatever we're doing, however we interact with 32,400, once we get up to this level, what's likely to happen is that we now hit the next significant resistance with this 42,700. I have it marked out on this chart. 42,700 is the next likely resistance. Then 32,400 is going to be retested as support. That's what I'm looking at. This is how I'm playing it. That would be what I'm expecting to happen in Bitcoin's price action. And I think for people who are looking for some sort of confirmation, people who are skittish about the possibility of our really moving up, you probably want to look at this retest, right? Breakout, retest. That's a perfect retest. 190 days of resistance has to be retested as support if you're true, okay? If you're not, you just start going up, you ignore it, and then eventually you're going to come back down and pull a swing failure pattern. But if this move up is true, which we do believe it is on a high time frame, you're going to go up, and wherever you go, you're going to come back down to 32,400 and retest that as resistance. So that's what I'm seeing in the Bitcoin chart. Okay, now, why do we see also evidence of this imminent breakout in altcoins? It's because it's already happened. Look at this. Right in our watch list, we can see an example of this, a front runner, which is Blur. Okay, so let's look at the Blur chart. Blur is an altcoin that has been down, pretty much down and sideways ever since its top in, when was this? February of this year, okay? So that is a long, long time since we've experienced a veritable move up in this chart, okay? That's approximately 245 days. This is breaking a 245-day trend, okay? Let's draw a trend line right here. Look at that. Look at that. Would you look at that? Right? It's right there for you in black and white in the chart. Why do people do technical analysis? It's because these kinds of relationships exist. This is incontrovertible. You can look at this and say, okay, that's happening. Okay? Now, based off of what I'm seeing on this chart right here with you, am I going to FOMO into Blur? Probably not. Why? Because of what I just said when talking about Bitcoin going to 42,700 and more likely than not back to 32,400. Major resistance needs to be retested as support if a move is true. So, in the context of Blur on the daily time frame, although this move up is really, really it is what's the word I'm looking for? It really gives confidence. It's really encouraging. That's the word I'm looking for. It's really encouraging. Although this is really encouraging, I want to be careful as a trader, as an investor, as a speculator. As an investor, not so much. As an investor, I'm buying the bottom. I don't care if we come back down and retest this trend line, this 190-day trend line as support. I don't give a damn, right? Anywhere here as an investor, I'm fine. If I'm trading on leverage, I'm trying to, kind of trade with a high degree of margin or leverage, I want to be very careful because this is 190 days of resistance that we just broke. You do not want to buy the first break up. you want to buy the retest, meaning this goes up and eventually this comes back down to a certain extent, right? And that's when I'm really interested in the real breakout, okay? So that is Blur, and that's an example of our breaking months-long trends, downward trends in crypto, right? This asset right here, Blur, I don't know what level or what rank it is in CoinMarketCap, but you're seeing us break high time frame resistances to the upside. Now here we would want to wait for the retest. When is it coming? I don't know. Every chart is going to be different, but that is an example of our imminent breakout in Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency markets. Guys, that's all I got for you. Hope this was helpful. Hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe. As always, if you got value, I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody's positioned to take advantage of these coming moves, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.